Cheers, everyone. It's Friday, the 4th of July. Cheers. If you celebrate, enjoy the celebration. If you've watched me over the years, I've probably said it before. I can remember at least one year where my comments about the 4th of July pissed people off. But again, I don't care. I'm speaking from my personal experience. The 4th has never meant anything to me. It means even less now. End of that story. So, I'd like to share my day yesterday. Remember, I told you that potentially I would be. I had an appointment, a meeting with an artist I had met about a month ago. Binky Shapiro is her name. Not a big name, you know. In some ways, not a name at all. But she's in there, and she has a background, and she's been here in Omaha very quietly working on this album, as well as some other personal things for, I guess, over a year now. And she's recording at ARC Studios, Conor Oberst Bright Eyes Studio. And I vibed with her when I met her when we were acting as judges for the Omaha Mobile Stage talent shows. And I vibed with her right away. She's definitely not from Omaha. I can tell that. She's got the California thing going on, which is somewhat indefinable, but it's not an Omaha thing. I really enjoyed our visit, and Nick Fackler also came over because we're both going to be on her new album. As I said, it's a small world, and it's really cool how she had met Nick like 10 years ago in California through Sia, a friend of hers, who Nick was making a video for and dating. And then they just happened to run into each other here in Omaha, I guess last week. And Nick recognized her. So I love how things happen. I like it when things happen like this. So Nick is fairly typical musician type, artist type, who's late. And so he was very late. I'm on time. If you tell me to be there someplace, I'll be there at that time, and I was. So I had plenty of time to talk to Binky, just one-on-one, to get to know her more and to find out, what this record is about. What is she about as a musician? And then she played me one of the tracks, one of the unmixed tracks of the new album. And it's like, I'm in. It's real. It's not pop music. It's, she's playing acoustic guitar part of the time and then electric guitar part of the time. I really like her voice. It's very, very, very personal, So I want to make this connection because, so for example, people have asked me over the years about certain artists a lot, assuming that I would like them, like Guided by Voices. Here's the trick. To listen to stuff like Guided by Voices, and I'll even go further to kind of connect to what Binky does, and even other artists unlike Guided by Voices, but not so much what immediately trips my trigger, like artists like um, PJ Harvey or Zola Jesus. If I were to play music with them, it would be different. When you enter into people's art, it takes on a different. It's it just takes on a different meaning when you share in the creation of the art. It makes a difference. So what I'm saying is, like, so for example, what Binky is working on, if I just heard it in a store or saw a video, I'd probably appreciate it, but I wouldn't go running out buying it. But playing the music with her and connecting with what she is feeling makes all the difference. It takes on much more importance. And I think this would be the case with almost any other musician that's any good, like Robert Pollard, or even the guy from Modest Mouse, or even if I were to say, for example, end up having an opportunity to play with the members of Queen, I would probably love it. And the music would likely take on a different meaning after experiencing making it with them. So I'm excited. She showed Nick and I a brand new song that she wrote because her dog died here while she's in town. Dog she's had for a while. And apparently the dog was old, over 20 years old. So the dog's death was slow and it was cathartic. And it's like Penny went through a catharsis, almost metamorphosis with the dog's passing. And so that's what this song is about that she asked me to play on. And we demoed it yesterday. We recorded it. And I loved the experience of playing it with her and feeling her feelings through her. And she, after we were done recording a third take of it, because Nick and I helped with her deciding on the arrangement. It's brand new to her. But I told her that I got a PJ Harvey kind of vibe from the way she's presenting it. Beautiful voice, intimate. Um, I'm happy. I'm happy. So she's recording at ARC Studios. That's the Mike Mogus, Conor Oberst studio. I've recorded there before. But Bright Eyes are on tour. So her recording has been on hold since then. She's just been living here and doing other things. But they're done with their tour. They get back next week. Either at the end of next week or the week after, we'll go into the studio to lay this down. I'm excited. I like recording. I like making records. I do. And this is real music. It is. It's not fake. It's not trying to be something. It's very heartfelt. I like to be involved in real music. So yesterday was great. And it was great to reconnect with Nick on the musical level. We haven't played music in years. And we have a simpatico. I have a deep connection with Nick. And when we started to play with Binky yesterday, almost immediately it started to flow. And by the third take, because we recorded everything, by the third run through, it was like, oh yeah, this is good. It's inviting. It's very intimate, but it's welcoming. She really loved that dog, and it's the way she sings it, as well as the words. Really enjoyed it. So I'm going to be on her record. It's going to be, I think, her first solo record. I mentioned to you before, the one thing that I found that she's on Discogs is an album by Adam Green and her. Adam was in the band The Moldy Peaches. He's done other stuff too. So there's that. Matthew, go ahead and say your whole name. Matt Semino. You've bought several of my CDs over the years. You might have even bought records. Thank you. Matt sent me a record yesterday. It's not the first time. I'm assuming because of the timing that this is a birthday present. There's no mail today because of the holiday, so this arrived in time yesterday. And on first listen, Matt, you get me. I love this. I never heard of it. I'd heard of the producer. Trighet, To View. I don't know if that happened in the mail or maybe you found a used copy like this and picked it up for me because you already have it. Either way, I appreciate this. This is wonderful. This is the kind of thing that I like. It's not pop music. It's real music. It's right away, the people that come to mind when I heard this, listen to this, is people like Steve Reich and Philip Glass and Terry Riley. This is the shit. Guitar, field recordings, vibraphone, which I love the sound of the vibes, and bass. And it's produced by Nils Fromm. This was released in 2009. Thank you, man. I love it. I played both sides just once, but the first play is like, this is wonderful. I love this. I love this. So thank you. Someone made a request yesterday. No. Let's see. I'll do a poll. I tried to think about what to show in relation to the holiday, and I came up blank. I see where Mr. Dawson has a red, white, and blue theme on his video. I just watched part of it, but I like that about Michael. He has his own methodology of how he does things, and a very thoughtful, seemingly to me, a very thoughtful man. So he has that. I can't do that because it don't mean red, white, and blue doesn't mean what it might mean to him. It can't mean that to me as a black person. I tried, like I said. You know, I have every reason to hate the white race, frankly, but you can see that I love music and life and people, and so I just have to fight beyond the social hate, the having trouble with the words, institutional racism. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, this got played again yesterday, all the way through. Royal Bed Bouncer. If you've never heard this album and you like progressive rock, this is a fantastic album. Every song on here is killer. And I like Max Werner's voice. Years ago, Marcel, who lives overseas, I never met him, but he's VC member, used to make videos. I don't think he does anymore. But he's Dutch, and so he sent me a bunch of Max Werner solo records. Frankly, I've traded them. I kept them for years as a sign of appreciation, but honestly, the records were way too pop. But I like his voice. I like the music, you know, it's very classical oriented on this album with that driving rock beat. This is a very good album. Very good album. So do I have special plans today? No, I don't. It's just another day to me. And thankfully, last night, perhaps it's Trump's economy showing, but fireworks were crazier the night before last night. And usually every night leading up to the 4th, it gets crazier. We'll see how it is tonight. It'll probably be really off the chain tonight because it's supposed to be clear. There was a chance of rain in our area, and there is rain in there, but it looks like Omaha's going to be dry tonight. So it'll probably be crazy like that. I don't enjoy it. I have no special plans for the day. I might actually get together with Binky again today. We vibed. It's interesting. I say that a lot, but it's a nice intro to my thought. She and I got deep really rather quickly. And the thing about women and black, from my experience of black men, we actually have a lot of parallel experiences in society and historically. Me being the most hated thing on the planet, a black man, and then women, the most undervalued. Um, um, they're under, to this day. I look back on old commercials and old TV shows and stuff, and the way that society talked about women, in particular white men. I'll say it. I don't care if you white men don't like it, but you guys were in charge, setting the tone. Some of the shit that y'all said about women and the roles that you put on them in society, horrifying. I'm so glad we've learned since then, because there's stuff that's just like, oh my God, again. Even, I'll be honest, even as a kid back then, I'd see certain commercials and they say certain things like, you'll want to be fresh and clean for him or some kind of shit like that. And I'd be thinking, what? That don't sound right. That's degrading. So someone made a request, but it didn't resonate. See, that's why I tell you, you're lucky, and you won't catch me like, oh, he's doing it, so I'll try to catch him now. It ain't like that, It's not like that. So the request, or wanting to see a particular portion of my collection, it didn't resonate. I'd have to research my own collection to answer it, to be in part. So it's like I'm not interested in doing it. As I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the shelves trying to see does anything stand out to me to show, and nothing, especially with relation to the holiday. There's no connection. So I'm going to just go right here and just be completely naked and just grab a bunch here, unless it's Tamina. I don't want to just show something like, let me just see what's in here to show, okay? Okay, I'm gonna go over here. Here's some records. T's, S-T-U-V is right here. What did I pull? Let's see if I've even listened to any of these records in recent times, because that can be the case. So here we have Italian Prague, but I think the main guy in the band was not Italian. The Trip, Time of Change, keyboard-oriented trio. Oh, I love gatefolds. Reissue on lovely blue vinyl. This is a band that took a tip from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Haven't listened to this in a while. When this reminds me of when I was in Japan for a summer, and my Japanese friends, had an amazing collection down there. They had been collecting almost as long as me, and I saw rare Trip albums, Italian pressings in their collection. It's like, oh, French band, Triode, On n'a pas fini d'avoir tout vu. Tout vu. I hope I got that not too badly butchered. This is somewhere I have to look and see, because I can't remember if this is colored vinyl. It's a reissue. Yeah, Souffle Continu. This is somewhere between jazz rock and progressive rock. And there's my favorite color. Good enough to eat. One of my favorite snacks in the summertime is orange sherbet, and I have to watch it because I'll pig out on it, and then I'll end up with a fat gut just from eating too much sherbet. But there's that. What's next? Here's an album that I need to listen to. I'm still not familiar with it. Le Trio Camera on the Mighty Sarava label. Don't have near enough records on this label. And this is a reissue. Jazz. It needs a listen. So yeah, I played these recently and showed this recently. Tri Atma and Gyan Nishabda. Yearning and Harmony. These are the same albums. This is a German original on Erdenklang. I think the guy from the band Ela Craig started this label. And this is the U.S. pressing. Gorgeous music. Really healthy, beautiful, spiritually uplifting music. Fantastic. Triangle. This was given to me by a VC member. I think his name is Vince. And this is good. Not like first rate, top of the tier sort of prog, but good. This is good. Viens avec nous. And it's also an illustration of how I've been interested, still I'm interested in music from all over the world. Tung from England. Kind of an interesting, eclectic, sort of folky sound that they have. Good Arrows. I had something else by them. I think I sold it. I want to make sure I get the name of the band right. Triana. Spanish band. Triana. Music from all over the world is what you'll find in my collection, including the Middle East, Africa, Russia, the whole planet. Love those gatefolds. This is real, like flamenco. Sounds very flamenco-like. There's that. Then you all saw when I recently picked this up at a record show, Tretio Riga Kriget. Very happy to add this to my collection. It wasn't cheap. Well worth it though. Love this band. Really good. They're still going. Here is an album that, again, real strong memories of seeing this in a store for the first time in Japan back in 1994 and freaking out on they wanted $300 basically for it. An original. This is not an original, but I love this cover. I liked it. Love this album too. Trees on the Shore. Famous Hypnosis people behind the Pink Floyd covers. I think this is one of the best covers. And this is a very good folk rock album. Reissue double album. Really good. Real good. I relate to this music. Not so much the stories that they're telling, but the way the music moves. I feel it. That's something I noticed early on, is that those Irish ballads and sad songs, I feel them just like I feel soul music, okay? And I have the Trees' first album, The Garden of Jane Delaney. This is on white vinyl, or is it kind of a creamy vinyl? This is really good too, their first album. Yeah. I love this stuff, I really do. I find myself more in a mood to sit in a place to experience this than a lot of music. Here's an original from the 60s, 70s, Travel Agency. Slightly psychedelic, but just really good musically and in great shape. I've had this a long time. Travel Agency. Here's one where I need to listen to it. It's been a long time. Jazz. Ross Trout. This is one that I would pass over for a long time, seeing it in used, and I finally went ahead and bought it, and it's good. I just can't remember it, but you can see by some of the players, Mark Egan, Danny Gottlieb, and yeah, Steve Rodby. Okay, good players. That gives an indication. I should keep this out and play this. Interesting stuff, eh? Here's another one. Voici la nuit tombée by Traveling. Another one on the Souffle Contenu label. Often considered as the French answer to the Canterbury movement, echoes of Soft Machine Caravan and Super Sister. I think that's fairly accurate. Once again, beautiful. A lot of these are turning out to be uncolored vinyl. Isn't that nice? I love this variety. And I love the fact that music does give a sense of place. This doesn't sound American. And then these, I decided to keep these. I got these at the same record show, I think, or the one before. I got the Trattoria Riga. And for a minute I was thinking I was going to sell these, and someone mentioned in the comments a while back they were interested in them if I would. I'm keeping them though. Medusa, Trapeze. Love the cover more than the music, but I'm keeping this. Glenn Hughes, this was his band, who went on to Deep Purple and other stuff. You are the music, we are the band. Yeah, I'm just going to keep these. What's next? Almost done here because it's approaching half hour. Transit Express, Fusion, Opus Progressive. There is a Serge Parathoner is in this group, and David Rose on violin. Dominic Bouvier. I think Parathoner played in Magma for a while. This is very good. Very good. Good musicianship. Mahavishnu inspired. And this one I like even better by them. Transit Express, Priglacit. Priglacit or Priglacit, however you say it. Good stuff. It's busy, but good. Related to Super Sister, this is Robert Jan Stips. Trans Sister, album called Zigzag. Very much like Super Sister, a little more accessible. Humor is a big part of what's going on this album. I couldn't remember if this was on CBS or Areola. What's next? Avant-garde jazz. Transmusique's Concert à Paris on Flying Bird. Yeah, I got this is a lot of what is here, not what you'll find in what I consider typical record collections. This stuff is interesting, Love it. Haven't played this in a long time. And then, to finish off here, these two albums by the English band Tranquility. Now, someone who watches me or is a friend of mine on Facebook, their uncle was in the band, and when I showed this one time, they piped up and told me the whole story. Possibly related to the guy Terry Shattuck. This is soft rock, not folk. I haven't played this in a while, but I like it. And melodic harmonies, good harmonies. The name of the band is appropriate. Tranquility. Not exactly sure why they didn't do better commercially, because this is very good and real easy to get into. They don't sound like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, but when I say that, it's in that area. And I like once again, I like good graphics, good covers. Good, both these albums are good. Tranquility. So that's the poll for today. I want to thank let me go to the comments because I want to thank, because I mean no ill will to anyone, even when we disagree. You know, I see that Wolverine has some 78s by T-Bone Walker. My dad did too. I don't know if he was on any of them. Yes, Canned Heat was hot. Okay, and yes, I do play, when I play the can, I will play any one of those copies, okay? And there was something I thought I wanted to respond to. Kendra Smith, I think I've heard that. Yeah, someone expressed concern about the cats. It's not a, you know, they're not my cats, and if the things get crazy, well, we'll address it. Okay. There's something I thought I wanted to respond to. Oh yeah, B. Shannon. He was saying, "Well, Dereck, I do apologize if I worded my now deleted post poorly." Well, I don't. You know, the bottom line is the way that the comment was posted was like he was making a declaration about black bands trying to play rock music, and it's like, you know, I make declarations, but I always qualify it saying this is just what I think, okay? But that wasn't there, so it's kind of like, well, what makes, you're not an expert, neither am I, and so I'm glad that he came back and clarified, because there's no ill will here, ain't no problem, and I like people sharing what they think. Someone else said, yes, you do have to be careful with your words in here. I don't know if that's it. Just be clear. You know what I'm saying? Just be clear about what you're saying. We're not in person, so that orientation to, I don't have the face to face, so I have to interpret what you're saying, and I may not interpret it correctly. So a little explanation, a little clarity is in order sometimes. But ain't no problem. Okay? No problem. Okay, folks, family, what are y'all doing for the 4th? Anything? Stay safe. I'm not doing any fireworks. Okay, take care.